answers, I change the questions. It's me, Austin!
Who are you to doubt El Daniel? Because this guy's a serious professional. Rep, screw, rep.
Yeah! Can he do it? Over! Oh, and a kick out! Unbelievable!
Too hot to handle and too cold to hold. And I am the Macho King Savage.
Woo! Shut your mouth, you thong-wearing fatty!
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hey, yo, Pro Wrestling Podcast listeners, welcome to the show where we don't sing it, we bring it. Help us out and click subscribe to show your support. Are you sick and tired of dropping $60 to $100 for the latest and greatest wrestling game? Stop right away. Go to Wrestler Unstoppable. It is an exclusive through Facebook. Create a wrestler, sign a contract, get into a storyline, headline pay-per-views, heck, build your own pay-per-views, even build your own corporation, bottom to top. All included, totally free in Wrestler Unstoppable, available now to all Facebook users. If you want to become a member of the Pro Wrestling Podcast family, you want your name in the shoutouts like my good buddy John down in Texas. John, love giving you that shout out. Pop over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/Pro Wrestling Podcast. Sign up today. Loyalty rewards. If you contribute $15 a month, you can co-host a live show with me. $7.50 a month, I'll enter you into a drawing to co-host a live show with me as well. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of the Pro Wrestling Podcast. If you've got questions, comments, concerns, anything you'd like to talk about, drop us a line. Pro Wrestling Sound Off line 267-642-1160, and we will get to your questions, comments, or concerns in a future episode. This episode, we are into part 2 of our new 3-part series dealing with some of these lists, so to speak, in the professional wrestling world. Tonight, we are looking at the top 10 soon-to-be, hopefully, challengers for Cody Rhodes and the Undisputed WWE Championship. We did this last episode where we talked about the challengers for the World Heavyweight Championship and Damian Priest. Please go and check that episode out by clicking the other video function. But in this episode, we want to focus on the Undisputed WWE Championship. After WrestleMania and all that went into the ending of Roman Reigns' historic run with the championship, Cody finishing the story, coming up with opponents for Cody Rhodes is incredibly challenging. As a matter of fact, if you tune into some of the shows that are all over streaming services, Busted Open Radio, even Bully Ray admits that it's difficult to book opponents for Cody Rhodes. And it is. So tonight, this episode, we're going to look at the 10 people that I think could provide great opportunities to be challengers for the Undisputed WWE Championship for Cody Rhodes over the next several months leading into WrestleMania of next year. And I don't just want to read off a list. I'm going to give you my justification or my case for why each one should be used. Now, in the interest of transparency, I don't believe that every one of these talents should be given the championship. I'm simply implying that they would create a compelling enough storyline that I would want to tune in every week to see what happens in the match. Now, most of the matches, I would like for them to be something where you could see a title change taking place possibly. But a title change after such a historic chase is very uncommon anytime soon after. So we've got some time, I think. But that being said, the AJ Styles match at Backlash was phenomenal, no pun intended. And that happened because you don't always have to have a title change to have an incredible championship program. And there was very little build to the Backlash match with AJ Styles. So let's take a look at the top 10 list. Coming in at number 10, the almighty Bobby Lashley. Let's be honest, in the last year and a half, Bobby Lashley has been pushed down the card repeatedly. He's been pushed down into tertiary feuds that don't mean anything, recruiting people, almost taking on a managerial role for the Street Profits, getting into this nonsensical back and forth with his Pride faction going against the AOP and Karrion Kross, and it's just, I haven't seen anything of importance for him in quite some time, but it's time. Bobby Lashley, just being honest, is no spring chicken. He's been around the block quite a few times, and we don't have an infinite amount of time where someone who looks as amazing as he is and who is as God-gifted and talented as he is going to get another opportunity to be in a World Championship program before he eventually decides to walk away. Father Time is undefeated against wrestlers no matter how great they look, and I want to see Bobby Lashley in a prominent role again very soon. That being said, I believe Bobby Lashley and Cody Rhodes would make for a fantastic program for a lot of reasons, but none the least of which is the fact that in the storytelling, we love seeing some of the backstories that WWE and other companies wrap into what they do. And in this situation, it would not be hard for Cody Rhodes to talk about telling the story where his father was the man who booked the first ever African-American WCW World Heavyweight Champion in Ron Simmons. And you could play off that to why Cody would want to give the opportunity to someone as credible and as legitimate a challenger as Bobby Lashley, and then tie in the opportunity for giving an opportunity to an African-American challenger who's deserving, who has earned this opportunity, who has been to the mountaintop and deserves a chance to go there once again. It seems like those are topics that WWE does not shy away from, and I think it would make for some compelling television. And I don't expect Lashley to win the championship from Cody, but I think it would make a great program. It could have a great build, a lot of physicality, much like the Brock Lesnar feud last summer, and I'd love to see where that goes. Likewise, number 9 on my list, and I only have this one on the list because at some point, you have to just jump in. Go full bore, and if you're trying to make this guy a star, you have to just go for it, and that is Karrion Kross. If they have done everything they can to get this guy over with the fans. He's got the body, the look, the temperament, the attitude. The only thing I can't stand is his setup and finishing movesets. I'm tired of seeing people just run across the ring and hit somebody in the back of the head with an elbow. I'm tired of seeing essentially a sleeper hold. It's 2024. If you don't want to be doing the kicks and flips and everything like Braun Strowman used to joke about people online about, then you got to do something more inventive than a sleeper or a bullhammer to the back of the head. So give Karrion Kross a much more substantial finishing hold, something that showcases his raw power, and make him a legitimate challenger. Again, not saying he has to win. I'm saying if done correctly, I could buy into this program. Moving on to number 8 on my list, another one that is really hypothetical because we don't know what's going to happen. But with all the QR codes and the teases, I'm looking at the Wyatt Six faction and Uncle Howdy being a challenger for Cody Rhodes. And I think, here's the thing. Bray Wyatt is a character that Cody's father absolutely appreciated in Florida Championship Wrestling and then later in NXT. I think it would be a really wonderful full circle moment for one of the most creative families in the business and one of the most creative minds in the business, being Dusty Rhodes and being Bray Wyatt, to see that legacy of both of those come together in a match or a program for Cody and Uncle Howdy. So that would be my number 8. Beyond that, Cody doesn't have the backup like the Wyatt Six, but the Wyatt Six could be a big factor in why potentially Uncle Howdy could win the championship. Now, I don't think I would do that because of what it took to get the championship onto Cody, but it's a program and a feud that I would be interested in watching. Number 7 on my list is one that I think everybody suspects at some point we're going to see. Not right away, much further down the line. Possibly the main event of WrestleMania next year, Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk. CM Punk winning the Royal Rumble, going to Mania, and challenging Cody because of all the respect and relationship that exists between the two. I think everybody would buy into the program. I don't think either one has to be a heel. They could both be tweeners. Punk could do some heelish activity at times. Cody the same. I just think the match is box office. And when you have people like Roman and Rock who'll be tied up with each other possibly, and all your other top of the card guys feuding over the other championship, I think this makes a lot of sense. Number 6 on my list is one that's kind of like wishful thinking. I don't think is going to happen, but I'm going to say it anyways because I'm hoping that it does happen because of their history and because I would just give anything in the world to see one more time. I'm talking about Cody Rhodes versus Nick Aldis, the current GM of SmackDown, for the Undisputed WWE Heavyweight Championship. It's a match that has taken place before. No match bigger than at the inaugural All-In pay-per-view for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. I would love to see it one more time, and this time on a big stage with the bright lights, the 50, 60, 70,000 fans, that would be a match I would give anything to see. Nick Aldis versus Cody Rhodes. Coming in at number 5, a less popular option probably, but once he loses his current championship, I would not have a problem seeing Cody have a program with Logan Paul. Not because I think Logan Paul deserves to be the main event guy, but because much like his match with Roman Reigns, I think that Cody could carry him through an incredible match in one of these Saudi Arabian shows or one of these less pertinent, like B-level premium live events. And I think it would be enough that it would draw in enough mainstream attention with the Prime sponsorships and all that craziness that it could really get over. So Logan Paul comes in at number 5. Number 4 on the list, I think, is just a foregone conclusion sometime in the near future before Roman Reigns comes back, or it could be after, depending on how that feud could potentially go. But number 4 on the list is Solo Sikoa, eventually being built up as the bulldozer of the new bloodline. He and Cody Rhodes, it seems like, is fate, are going to cross paths at some point, and I would absolutely love to see it. Number 3 on my list, another one that I think everybody knows is going to happen at some point. It has to. It just has to. Again, could be a Royal Rumble winner challenging Cody at Mania, and that would be the Ring General, Gunther, winning the Rumble and challenging Cody at WrestleMania next year in what would be a phenomenal match foreshadowed by the 2023 Rumble match where Cody and Gunther were the last 2 participants. Further, this year's Rumble, when they mixed it up a little bit in the Rumble, it's a match I think everybody wants to see and one that I think is absolute box office. Number 2 on my list is one that you're hearing a lot about in other media outlets, and that would be if Cody Rhodes were to have a heel turn, which they have talked about in various media locations. If he goes heel, a babyface Roman Reigns would be an amazingly interesting feud. Have Cody come in, flip the script. You have Cody as the bad guy, Roman as the good guy chasing. Think about what you could do now. Of course, I think Cody would have to win that to validate the fact that he ended the reign of Roman Reigns. But I would love to see it. Their first 2 matches were lights out, but both of them, let's be honest, both had a ton of interference. I'd like to see one match between the 2 gentlemen finish as close to clean finish as possible. If not, fine. Inject some more interference, but I think it's a match that needs to happen. And number 1 on my list, the one that will not surprise anybody, we all know it, it has to happen. Cody even spoke about it during a post-WrestleMania interview. Cody Rhodes needs to face off with his mentor, Randy Orton. The Viper has to get a main event program with Cody Rhodes at some point. I think we all know that's the expectation. Could be SummerSlam, could be Survivor Series, could be the Rumble, could be the main event of WrestleMania next year, and I don't even care when it is. No matter when that happens, it will be a banger. It will be a 5-star quality match, no matter what Dave Meltzer says, and it's one of those matches that is really turning into one of those like dream match scenarios, like Undertaker and Sting, or Bret Hart, Hulk Hogan, or Sting, Shawn Michaels, or whatever. Pick a dream match you always wanted to see. That's kind of where we're starting to get to with Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. So that is our top 10 list, the top 10 potential challengers for the Undisputed WWE Championship while it is over the shoulder around the waist of Cody Rhodes. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Let us know what you think about these kinds of episodes. Is this something you'd be interested in? Is this something you don't find as interesting? Give us a shout out on the Pro Wrestling Sound Off line, 267-642-1160. Let us know if you want to hear more of these types of episodes. Pop onto our Patreon, patreon.com/ProWrestlingPodcast. Sign up. See if you love these, possibly we'll do more and make those Patreon exclusive content. Let me know. I need to know from my listeners what it is you'd like to see best come out of this program. That's all the time we have for this episode. Check back with us next episode. We'll run down the latest wrestling news and rumors. Special thanks, as always, goes out to bensound.com or purpleplanet.com for any music or sound effects we use in our show. Today's show sponsored in part by Beazle Games. Bring a new friend to family game night. It's easy with sketchy people. Showcase your artistic side in this game from Beazle Games by going to thegamecrafter.com and grabbing your copy today. If you're looking for your next career move, you're considering college or university life, or you just need some formal training for your next career decision, go to our website at frolifeplanning.com for all your higher education needs, as Fro Life educational planning is for today, for tomorrow, and for life with Fro Life. I'm Fred Froelich, better known as Dr. Fro. I want to thank you for taking a few moments with us today. Until next time, take care, everybody. Have a great night.